there's a new trend in the online marketing industry that not many are aware of, and it's called behavioral advertising. What is behavioral advertising? Well, behavioral advertising involves the collection of online user data such as browsing habits, search queries, and website history,
for the purpose of creating marketing strategies and advertisements based strictly on user behavior patterns.
Marketers use that data collected on their consumers to better target their marketing efforts. In this presentation, we're going to consider how behavioral advertising works and its benefits for marketers and consumers. Also, we're going to consider the potential threats to consumer privacy and how marketers currently attempt to balance the privacy and efficiency of their marketing efforts using behavioral advertising. Some of the consumer benefits in behavioral advertising are: advertisements are based on consumers' needs and interests. Therefore, the ads are going to be a lot more attention-grabbing. There's also a reduction in irrelevant ads that can be obstructive to the consumer's internet experience, such as pop-ups. Additionally, there is a higher chance that the consumer will pay attention to the ads being displayed to them, since they are tailored based off of their online behaviors and habits. Relevant internet ads are also a great way to gain personal information from your consumers online and use that information to better target their advertisements in the future. A study conducted by Parks & Associates, as displayed by this chart, shows that young adults are more willing to provide personal information in exchange for relevant internet ads. Behavioral advertisement has also decreased the need for pop-up ads. This is a great benefit for consumers because it reduces the amount of annoying and often ignored ads found on the internet. It also makes for online advertising more interesting to consumers. Another benefit to consumers through behavioral advertising is the fact that it facilitates comparison shopping. Consumers will get different ads on the same products and services that they'd be looking for on the internet, allowing them to better compare these available services.
For example, someone searching the internet for great deals on cameras will get several ads having to do with digital cameras and can possibly be exposed to an awesome deal through an ad.
Now we're going to discuss the benefits to the marketers for behavioral advertising. Behavioral advertising gives marketers a competitive advantage and allows them to reach a wider audience. Another benefit to marketers is that their marketing efforts are targeted towards consumers better, increasing their efficiency of their marketing efforts. The highly targeted efforts of this consumer behavior advertising also generates higher online sales from successfully targeting their consumers. The following two slides are a perfect display of how the return on investment is increased from online marketers who use behavioral advertising.
We see here that search engine optimized and house emails are amongst the highest percentage of high return on investments. And on this next chart, sourced from the Marketing Sherpa, we see that contextually targeted ads as well as behaviorally targeted ads are amongst the highest percentages for a great return on investment, as well as a very healthy middle of the pack return on investment.
The privacy issues affecting behavioral advertising include profiling, traffic analysis, and social intelligence. Profiles may reveal personal or private information about individuals that they might not even be aware of themselves. Profiling technologies could be discriminatory tools. They allow unmatched types of social categorization and segmentation, resulting in the possibility of unjust effects. Online profiles can be used against web surfers when they end up in the hands of people who don't have permission to access or utilize them. A significant matter associated to this infringement of security is identity theft. Another privacy issue concerned with behavioral advertisement includes traffic analysis. In traffic analysis, companies use traffic analysis software that match different web surfing behaviors into a single report.
This report and the information it analyzes can be a potentially slippery slope for marketers due to the possible sensitivity of the information that the consumer could be looking up on the internet that they might not want the marketers to have access to. A perfect example of how a traffic analysis report can directly impact a consumer in a negative way is, for example, someone who was recently discovered that he has or might have cancer and is researching the internet for possible signs that he might have cancer, and having his internet service provider compile a report of this traffic that he is creating on the internet to research the topic. This report can in turn be sold to health insurance companies that will use that information to deny this said consumer health insurance due to the fact that he might possibly have cancer, and thus avoid having to pay a very hefty insurance claim later on down the road, leaving the consumer in the dark about why he really was denied the possible insurance policy.
The next topic we will discuss concerning privacy issues revolving around behavioral advertising is social intelligence.
The Social Intelligence Agency was a social reporting agency created to conduct background checks on people, not on their credit, but based on their online social network activities. The agency gathers activities such as Facebook posts, Twitter posts, as well as pictures that you may have posted on your profile that could possibly shed some bad light on what you like to do outside of your professional activities. A lot of employers can choose to discriminate against you based on these network activities without you even knowing about it. Imagine losing the opportunity to get your dream job because that potential employer got his hands on this social networking report that shed some light on what you do in your personal life that they might not agree with. This is becoming a real threat in this day and age as more and more employers are leaning towards these kinds of reports of online behavior to help build an overall profile of all potential applicants for jobs in this day and age. Now we're going to discuss how these privacy issues are being managed, as well as cover what the solutions are on the horizon, such as government legislation, the Privacy Bill of Rights, as well as an increased awareness from big-time players that are the frontrunners in the behavioral advertising trend, taking notice and taking action towards resolving the issues that consumers may have against it. To solve the issues of online privacy, government is beginning to take a stand and intervening. There has been several legislations that have been passed. For example, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. This act prohibits website operators from knowingly collecting personal identifiable information from children under 13 years old without parent consent. Recently, the Obama administration created the Privacy Bill of Rights. The Privacy Bill of Rights is a document that the Obama administration created to suggest how companies should protect consumer online information. There are 7 different rights that are outlined in this document. First right is individual control. Companies must provide clear and easy to understand policies on how they are going to use the consumer's data. Second right is transparency. Companies must provide why they want to collect the consumer's data. The third right is respect for context. Companies cannot decide it wants to use data for another purpose. The fourth right is security. Consumers expect that companies provide adequate protection of their information. The fifth right is access and accuracy. The consumer should be able to access their personal data to make edits. The Sixth right is focused collection. Companies should only collect information that they need. Seventh right is accountability. Companies should be held accountable for lost data. However, this document has not become a law yet, but it is in the works. By increased transparency, we are referring to letting the consumer be aware of how their information is going to be handled. Some of the most frequently asked questions from consumers are how the company collects the information and how it's going to be used, as well as the disclosure of information to outside parties, whether or not it's going to be shared with third parties and who exactly that third party is. Additionally, they must have a commitment to the security of this information. There have been several companies that have made headlines for allowing their consumers' sensitive information to be leaked out to people that are going to use them for wrongdoing. One example of that is Sony Corporation, who made headlines for having their network hacked into and credit card information stolen from their consumers. An event that caused the Sony network for their PlayStation network to actually get shut down for several weeks while they gathered information to secure their network once again. Some of the other major companies that are taking notice about consumers' concerns with privacy issues are Facebook, Google, Best Buy, Adobe, Apple, and TrueGreen. Facebook and Google being two of the most noticeable ones who have both made headlines about privacy concerns. Facebook has actually restructured their privacy settings several times due to concerns from consumers. So we've considered how behavioral advertising works, and we've gone over its benefits for marketers and consumers. Also, we've considered the potential threats to consumer privacy and how marketers currently attempt to balance the privacy and efficiency. In conclusion, the possible benefits of behavioral advertising are obvious. However, if marketers cannot find a way to comfortably tiptoe around the fine line between gathering information based on personal tendencies and flat-out intrusion of privacy, the future does not look very bright for behavioral advertising. But if they can, the possibilities are endless. This presentation has been brought to you by our group, the E-Marketing Experts, consisting of Emilio De La Rosa, myself, Joanna Caro, Michael Perez, Daniel V, Mikoko Velasquez, and Janice Verwey.